Hello, I'm FX Toycat, and there are some people who think that the way democracy should work is that you listen to your favourite former disgraced speedrunner and you work out your opinions from what they say. However, personally, I think the way democracy works is when people are all informed, they get to make decisions about how to actually make things better, and so let's apply that to Minecraft, and let's talk about the free mobs that will potentially be coming to Minecraft on Saturday at Minecon Live, and let's talk about all the things you might not have known if you just watched the trailers, because there are 3 new mobs we'll be voting on: the Glare, the Alley, and the Copper Golem, and there are so many questions that you might have had that I wanted to at least go some distance to answering using Minecraft developer feedback so we can actually give you an in-depth voting guide about what you should do at Minecon Live. First though, there is a brand new video which shows the 3 mobs together and summarizes them from the Minecraft point of view.
How are we supposed to pick which one of our new friends joins Minecraft?
It's not up to us. Our amazing community will vote for their favorite during Minecraft Live. Look, it's a glare. There must be a really dark spot nearby.
I also get grumpy when it's dark enough for monsters to spawn.
Did you really give an LA our last cookies?
Yeah, but they brought back a collection of new ones.
Isn't Copper amazing? It can be used to build anything from mobs to buttons.
Gee, I wonder who built this Copper Golem.
Who gets your vote? The Glare that finds dark spots? The Allay that collects items? Or the Copper Golem that you build yourself? Tune into Minecraft Live on October 16th to decide which mob will join Minecraft.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the 3 separate mobs in this video, of course, and we're going to start with the Glare because of the 3 mobs, it's just generally accepted in the Minecraft community that most people aren't all that excited for. And obviously, most people means 90%, which means there are still hundreds of thousands of people who think the Glare is a viable mob, and so it's important that we talk about exactly what you get when you vote for the Glare, because I've heard so many people dismiss it as just being a mob that does what F3 does. First of all, obviously the Glare is a much cuter way of doing what F3 does. It allows you to spot areas that you wouldn't have thought to look about with F3. Again, if you're looking constantly and you have that huge clunky F3 menu up on Java the entire time, then of course the Glare is going to do absolutely nothing for you besides be slightly cute. And just a reminder, by the way, a healthy number of Minecraft mobs operate solely on the principle of just being cute. And so yeah, I think the Glare is actually a pretty fun idea, especially because of the fact that even if you ignore the F3 menu thing, that's only true on Java, and Java is just a small percentage of Minecraft players. A lot of people play on Minecraft Bedrock where there is no equivalent function if you're not running the weird developer version at least, and so Minecraft Bedrock needs some form of light finding function. Wouldn't it be great if it looked like this? And as we could see in the trailer, it was kind of cute that he kind of led into the forest to let you know where in a forest is dark enough. There are genuine uses for the Glare, however, most people are focused on the LA and on the Copper Golem, so let's talk about the LA and all of the things you need to know about it, because like we mentioned yesterday, it is not an item duplicator. You give the alley an item and it will come back with more of the items that it finds. However, it will not just duplicate an item. If you give it diamonds and there aren't diamonds in the area, then it won't come back with more diamonds. And also there is the important fact that it cannot grab items from chests, and it also cannot harvest items. For example, it can't harvest your wheat crops for you. All it can do is find items that are already on the ground somewhere and it can bring them back. So this means that it's effectively like a flying hopper, which is where most people leave it. However, something you need to bear in mind is it can do so much more. Here is a really fun graphic by the user LightDE, and I wanted to show you this one because the alley is effectively a drone according to him, and they have a lot of great sales pitches as to why you want it. First of all, it's got some new gameplay, which we haven't seen before, which is great for new mechanics and doing command stuff. Second of all, you can use it as a drone farm. If you've already harvested your items and you want it to be automatically picked up by like a flying hopper, then obviously the drone, the magical alley is good for that. It's a drop collector. If you kill a bunch of mobs but you can't pick up the drops because they're too far down, good news, feed one of those drops to the alley and he'll go and pick those up. It can be a non-stackable item sorter, an adventure partner, a drone logistics piece of machinery. It can be wireless transmission, since obviously you give it an item and it will take those items to the nearest redstone block, which means it can effectively do some wireless redstone if you throw a push plate down on that block, because again, he's probably going going to ignore the pressure plate and just place it onto the note block, which will place it on the pressure plate, but then also it can be a designated item clearer in case you have frame rate issues. There are so many things that the ally can do for you. However, something very important, because I feel like this is a pretty significant balancing change, is the fact that, like Jeb said in the trailer, he gave the last cookie he had to the ally. The ally didn't bring back the cookie, he brought back different cookies that happened to be on the ground. I actually questioned the situation where Jeb could find a bunch of cookies on the ground, but whatever. And this sounds like, oh, well, you're just kind of overinterpreting it. No, this has been confirmed, again, by a Minecraft developer, King B Dogs, that actually the way the ally works is you give it an item and it brings back different items. The item you've given it sounds like it is gone forever, and so it actually does have a cost to using it, and so it's a flying hopper that comes with a cost and isn't automatable. But I think more importantly, just like with the glare, where, it could be an amazing mob because of the things we don't know, the things we don't know about the ally could make it a terrible mob. For instance, this could be an incredibly rare mob to find. Unlike the Copper Golem, we don't assume this is a craftable mob in some form. It's going to exist somewhere in your world, and you need to attract it in some way, so maybe it's going to be tameable. In fact, all 3 mobs are tameable in some way, you could say, but knowing how you find these things actually really does affect them, because if you just have one ally, they're not going to be very useful as a mob. If you can get a whole swarm of allies, then they're obviously the most useful mob of the entire bunch, assuming you can find one of those 8 situations mentioned in the graphic. And so that is the ally, which brings us nicely into the third and final mob you can vote for at Minecon Live. The Copper Golem is a very interesting mob, and as you can see from this Minecraft meme, it's actually the only Minecraft mob that you can vote on that will also guarantee you a brand new item. And again, it's not just the copper button, as this image says, you also get the slightly oxidized copper button, the mostly oxidized fully button, and the fully oxidized copper button, so you're getting a whole brand new set of blocks. So if you want to vote for just Minecraft blocks, then obviously vote for this. I think it's a funny take on this, that like, actually, yeah, this is a mob that some people will vote for solely because they don't care about any of the free mobs, but they do want to get some new buttons, which I think is hilarious. I've heard a few people saying, well, they might just add the copper button regardless of that. If they were going to do it, they wouldn't have mentioned it specifically with the Copper Golem. And bear in mind, when Minecraft says, oh yeah, here are 3 things we might add to Minecraft, you can vote on the thing that will come first, and the other 2 things will come at some point. We have not yet had a single one of these other features that, weren't voted on, but were voted on but didn't come first. We haven't seen a single other one of those features come to Minecraft yet. It is clearly polite marketing managing after the first time they did a vote where they threw away the concepts forever, and so in reality, if you don't vote for the Copper Golem, you don't get the copper button, which means if you want the copper button, or at least you want it in the next 5 to 10 years, before the next 5 to 10 years I should say, then you have to vote for the Copper Golem. So the Copper Golem is a really interesting mob. Obviously, as mentioned in the trailer, it is the only one of the 3 mobs which is craftable, i.e. you place down presumably some copper blocks and then a pumpkin, and then maybe also a lightning rod because of that thing on his head. Again, that would give some value to the lightning rod. If you place down those blocks in that order, then you would get yourself a Copper Golem, and then he spawns in, and then the longer he survives, just like every other copper item, he will slowly oxidize over time, and when he's fully oxidized, he will become a statue. He will not be able to move anymore. What does the Copper Golem do when he's alive, though? The Copper Golem presses buttons randomly. And you might be like, okay, but what else does he do? No, that's all. He presses buttons randomly, and he might have another function that just wasn't mentioned, but if we're basing this on what we've heard at the vote and outside of the vote, no, he presses buttons randomly, and then he eventually stops pressing buttons. However, it's not all doom and gloom, because obviously pressing buttons can be used for random redstone. It also can just be used for fun, random lighting up a base, and any other sorts of things like that. But also, the other interesting thing is that if the Copper Golem is struck by lightning, all of the oxidization will go away. Also, you can strike the golem with an axe, and if you strip the oxidation off him, then you'll bring him right back to his copper state. And also, another thing confirmed by King B Dogs in this little Discord post is that you will probably be able to wax the Copper Golem as well, which means that you actually can keep him in his copper state, which means we effectively have a piece of redstone acting as the third part of this vote. And so now shall we dive into my opinion about which of these 3 mobs you should vote on, because obviously the Copper Golem is the one that has the most complexity to it, in the sense of you get a lot of different mechanics with it that we have definitely confirmed. The alley sounds like it could do some of those things, and the glare is the wild card that, like, it might end up doing something interesting in the future. I mean, all we knew about the glow squid before it came was that it glowed and it was a squid. And when the glow squid came to the game, it glowed, it was a squid, and then you could make glowing item frames. So, I mean, obviously there are different parts to this we don't know. We don't know what any of these free mobs will drop. Presumably the Copper Golem won't drop anything, but the Ally and the Glare might have something in reward for killing them. I'd guess because they're both friendly mobs, they actually won't. Which brings me nicely into my big point here. Before we talk about which of these free mobs you should vote for, I want to just mention, I really do applaud Minecraft for doing this vote better than previous years. In previous years, we've always had mixes of slightly hostile, slightly friendly mobs, and it feels like you actually are getting a big loss if your favorite mob doesn't come to the game. But this year, regardless of which mob is added to the game, I feel pretty good about it. I don't feel any ill will towards whichever one of these mobs come, and I really do like that. Obviously, there is a danger they could make them more samey, but I think regardless, you get a cute mob, and a cute mob that can help you. A cute mob you can probably ignore if you really want to, but a cute mob that might add something real and big to Minecraft. So that is pretty exciting if you ask me. One of these free mobs is coming, and which of those free mobs do I think you should vote for? Honestly, as your favorite Minecraft YouTuber who has done speedruns, I don't think that it's my place to tell you. I'm not here to alter your vote. I think you should vote for the thing that you think will improve Minecraft the most. All I say is think about the downsides of each mob. We don't know what the Glare will do besides find those dark patches. He could do nothing else, and then it would be a solely cute mob. We don't know if the Ally will have any drops of its own. We don't know, for instance, how long it will take to do these things, how many allies will be able to spawn. We don't know any of the details that are really pertinent to making it a great mob and not a good mob. And with the Copper Golem, just bear in mind that you are getting a new type of golem, but it's interesting to say this because the Snow Golem is one of Minecraft's least useful mobs, but it's still kind of loved. You're voting on a mob that is very cute, and you're voting on a button that comes with that. And so now comes the question, which of these three things is the best? Which of the three things is going to win? It clearly comes down to the Ally and the Copper Golem, or at least that's what other people will tell you, but I'm telling you right now, the Glare is gonna win. I mean, think about it, he's green, Minecraft is green, at least slightly green, and, creepers are green, and everyone loves creepers. It's just a matter of time until we see the Glare added to Minecraft, because, I think that it's going to be a really interesting one to see, and I'm going to vote for the Glare in the first round, just because, he needs some sympathy votes, and if that means that he wins the overall thing, then you know what, I will have no regrets. But I do think that, yeah, this is a fairly inconsequential mob vote, that Minecraft isn't getting significantly worse if you do it wrong, and I like that. I like that that is a thing. I think sometimes about the world that could have existed if we if we voted for the the Moo Bloom last year instead of the Glow Squid, and I wonder if we think to ourselves, like, why did we vote for a pea-coloured flower cow when we could have had like a squid that glowed and dropped some magical dye and things like that. And the reality is, whatever is voted into the game, the other things aren't coming in any timely order. However, all I can hope for is that this isn't something where people just vote for something that they heard was good somewhere, and that you consider what will improve Minecraft, because as long as people are all voting based on what they want for Minecraft, then we'll have a good outcome for everyone that isn't influenced by everyone's wildest dreams, perhaps we could say. But thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I do think the your favorite YouTuber is how you make your vote is a little bit overplayed at this point. I don't think it's as big of a deal as some people are saying, but when there's only a few votes in it, it might come down to it. So just vote for the mob that you think is important and should be added to Minecraft, and we'll have a better game tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all for the show. It's happening so soon. It's like 24 hours away. So I'll see you there. Goodbye.